Hello. Okay, so there's this rad ass thing going on in CCWiki. It's a tournament to raise money for the American Suicide Foundation. Um, and every participant we will be donating. I believe it was $4 per person that enters and participates in the tournament. Um, I'm making this tier list video to not only educate people that may not have any experience in Arena going into this tournament, but also to raise awareness that it's happening and maybe get a few more people to sign up and help, donate to the charity. Um, if if you just want to skip the nitty gritty, the three best characters are probably Saracen, Alien, and Pink Knight for this. If you want to hear everything else, uh, it'll be in this video. I will also talk about weapons and orbs. The link for CCWiki and the event will be in the video description. Please go there and check it out. That would mean a lot today. All right. So, like I said, top three are Pink Knight, Alien, and Saracen. Now, Saracen's probably the best by a lot. Tornado techs are crazy. Extended medium weight juggle rather, and the air projectile is low key just nasty as fuck. It's just like a long range pickup that just lets you start a juggle if you hit it for free, basically. Alien has some rad ass resets. His projectile is crazy at zoning. It's the second highest damage splash in the game, and it comes out in frame too, so it lets you interrupt a lot of mistimed splash resets like that. And then Pink's long ass range splash, the stun's wild, gravity projectile's crazy, and if you're running a crit weapon like Mancatcher, or if you're a weirdo and you're running chainsaw like me, then you kind of just have a random chance to do 200 damage just because. And then I'm gonna move my way down to the bottom of this list, just to throw that out there. King is not very good. The heals don't do anything really. There's an argument to be made, kind of, that it can change some breakpoints on juggling, because if you heal yourself like 3 times, you'll have to get hit by another splash or hit by another few melees. But it's like overall, it doesn't really matter because you're just losing out on the poke range option for any neutral play at all. Yeah, you have your projectile, but like that doesn't really matter. Fuck. Necromancer is not the best. I'm gonna add a few more tiers. That's probably more than enough. Necromancer, unfortunately, has a frame perfect splash reset. Right? It is really cool, but the downside to that is this game does not have the best netcode in the universe. So doing something frame perfect consistently is not realistic. There's a Dynasty one, not sure if anybody's heard of him in this community, is pretty good at that. He does it, I would say, consistently. But Necromancer does have an upside to him, shocker. The air projectile, it's full screen, which is a trait that no other character has. And it's got some, the extra range is great. It's good for just zoning, which is something that if you pick up anything from this, is that zoning is really good. And characters that have good zoning options are going to be on the higher end of this tier list. Blacksmith is kind of isn't a similar boat to Necromancer, but not in the same way. It's more, the splash isn't, it's not realistic to pick a juggle up off of Necromancer's, or not Blacksmith's splash. And that's kind of unfortunate because it's an interesting splash. It just doesn't have enough knockback force to have it happen ever, really. Continuing. Where do I want to go next? Red Knight. Okay, so Red Knight's splash hitbox size is very bad. It's the width, if you will, is very small, and it's really inconsistent to hit. Um, you can't splash reset with it because if you just hold up after you get knocked over, while Red Knight's trying to splash reset you, or even down, you can hold either direction key, and you will just dodge the splash. Also, back to Alien having a frame 2 projectile, or a splash rather, he can cancel Red Knight's splash startup with it. There will be an example on screen if I remember to put it there. And having just a regular projectile doesn't do anything special for you, and low key the normal projectile isn't that good. And next in this bottom tier segment is going to be Beekeeper. Despite what Meme Cuisine displays, Beekeeper is not a good character. The splash is interesting, but its startup is so agonizingly slow for this this kind of format. It does hit out of the air, or enemies out of the air. So if they try to start zoning you with their air projectile, you can try to knock them out of it or whatever. Now I will. There's nothing else notable about Beekeeper. It's like the only reason why Beekeeper is above Red and King is because you actually hit your splash. Like that's just kind of how it is. Like technically, if you hit your splash in Red Knight, you get a free, like, I think it's like 178 damage if I'm remembering correctly. If you don't have any magic invest. Yeah, but this is kind of it for like our bottom tier, if you will. But Necromancer's not really a part of this because he actually has like a benefit to him. I mean, so does Blacksmith with the fire DLT projectile, but it's like that you can't. You need more than just that to succeed, or be a character picked over others. And yeah, that kind of wraps up just this segment. And next, above these guys. Now, none of these characters are bad, despite how low they are placed. All of the Air Rainers are very solid. Their splash is very good at zoning, and they have the ability to splash reset. So that just makes them good. And Barbarian, where is he? Barbarian now is technically different from these guys. Functionally not. Blacksmith kind of just has a slower startup by 1/10 of a second from Arrow Rain, or compared to Arrow Rain rather, and the knockback is or how the splash starts is different, and the knockback's a little different. But overall, you can still do the exact same stuff you do with Arrow Rainers. You just have to time it differently. And then for this next tier, we're going to have Saws and everyone's go-to quick splashes. Where's Dark Magic? So these are just splashes that come out very quickly and are easy to splash reset with, or just have long ass linear hitboxes like the Saw characters here. And because Saws are just a free splash reset, like straight up. Like I don't think I've ever missed a Saw splash reset. Like, real talk, it's so free. And granted, the splash damage is low, but the fact that it sets up for a juggle, or guaranteed juggle, is very powerful. because it's not ping reliant like some other resets are. It's just free damage. And continuing off of the free damage, if you hit this, is ice. If you just hit your projectile with blue or just your splash, you get a free juggle. Now I don't believe you can splash reset with Blue Knight, and if you can, I have not seen it. Same goes for Ice Canoe. Otherwise, they don't really have that much notable. Now, if this was I should have said this before, but I'm sorry. This tier list is taking the idea that Yeti isn't being used, because if Yeti was being used, then these guys would be down below Red Knight, Beekeeper, and King, right? But that is not the case, as I don't think that's very fun or fair for the Blue Knights player, as considering the character isn't even that great because of how inconsistent it can feel to even be able to hit a freeze, right? And next character that's gonna go on here is Bear. Now, Bear is a great character, to say the least. It's an extra damage juggle with the extended duration like Saracen has. You have all the tornado tech options. It's fantastic. It's great. The only problem is there's no zoning potential, but you can realistically outplay most opponents with just skill expression and knowing all of the Bear's rad-ass techs. And now we're going to talk about gravity projectiles, which are bombs, and the fact that 60-degree projectiles are a lot easier to hit than 45-degree projectiles, like Green Knight or Red Knight, Orange Knight. But you know those. Let's just go in a diagonal, 45-degree diagonal angle, I guess. But this is dumb. I don't know why I'm trying to explain angles, but it's easier to hit, basically. And the extra damage is great. The knockback is great. And then they also have Arrow Rain, which I explained before is great. It's just a good zoning tool and whatnot. And Hattie Haddington is going here because he has the option of both the downward gravity projectile, which is the better version of it, and the horizontal projectile that just has full screen range. Having the access to both and being able to choose between both is great because you get the best of both worlds. And Hattie also has a splash similar to Arrow Rain, but it's a slower startup. That's fine because it lets you zone better. And now, DOT on your splash is insane. It just gives you a shit ton of damage, and all three of these characters you can splash reset with. Now, Green Knight is not easy to consistently do. Now, it's not frame perfect or anything like Necromancer, right? But it is difficult to do, and the DOT just gets so much damage. Not having the losing the DPS with the different heavy attack that Green Knight has doesn't matter. Your DOT makes up for it with your splash, and your projectile also having that strong DOT is crazy. Now Orange Knight has great range on his splash. Like, I'm sure you've seen how far that goes. Now the only problem is it has gaps in its hitbox, or like the effect doesn't exactly line up where the hitboxes are, so there's little gaps you can walk through. Yeah, it is wide enough for a player to walk through, so it's kind of, I wouldn't want to say it's not bad. Saying bad is wrong because of the long ass range it has, but it's definitely not an upside. And then Fire Demon It's just Dark Splash. I think it's frame. I believe it's frame 2, and it has DOT and it's a quick splash. It's great. And that is my tier list for characters specifically. And then I'll just flash my weapon and orb tier lists on, because I don't care to explain those. I feel like those are very self-explanatory. But please go check out LoveCrashers and CCWiki. Participate, or even just come watch. Husking is going to be streaming on Twitch and in Discord as well. CCWiki Discord. Thanks for watching, and please go support. It'd mean a lot to me. See ya.